Hey, what's going on, guys? Arab here, and welcome back to a brand new video today. And in today's video, we're going to be seeing if we can win the Austrian Grand Prix with Max Verstappen. So, the Austrian Grand Prix always has a lot of Dutch fans coming to it. Obviously, last year, I think it was, if I remember correctly, Verstappen obviously ended his Grand Prix very early, right in front of an entire grandstand filled of his own fans, wearing bright orange t-shirts, obviously, bringing out the Dutch colours. And so, I thought, aptly, we'll do this challenge. Can we win the Austrian Grand Prix for Max Verstappen? He's rocking a new one-off helmet this weekend that's kind of coloured in yellow to kind of celebrate his sponsor. I think Jumbo, it is. So we've got that in the game as well. So nice new little lid as well for Max Verstappen. We're going to be starting at the back of the grid. And essentially it's almost like a last to first challenge. Can we actually get it to the front? It's going to be difficult. I have not got a single first place from last on the F1 2017 game when we've done this challenge. But we've got the 2018 mod installed. The Red Bull car should be pretty okay around Austria, and if I'm aggressive enough in the first few corners on the opening laps, as maybe Max Verstappen can be, then maybe we can make some progress and we can have a good shot at the first place and get that dub for Max Verstappen. And what is essentially the closest thing to a home Grand Prix as he has, maybe also the other one would be the Belgian Grand Prix. Both those, a lot of Dutch support for him at those two Grand Prix. So I thought we'd try and do this challenge in this scenario here at this weekend. So, in terms of the race strategy, it's a one-stop ultra soft tyre to the super soft tyres, a 25% race, of course, to keep the race nice and short, but it means we have to make the overtakes count. We cannot dawdle today. So here we go to 5 red lights, the Austrian Grand Prix, and we're underway from P20. It's a good start versus the youngster Charles Leclerc there, right ahead of us, and we're already up into P18. We're going to size up the move down the inside of 3 cars there into turn 1, up into P14. It's a fantastic start for us there, side by side with the Force India best Monaco on there. We saw the big pocket of space in turn 1. That was just inviting us there, and so we took it up into P14. Down the inside now, 1, 2, almost 3 cars there of the Renault Carlos Sainz, but he's going around the outside of the Haas of Kevin Magnussen, so we have to wait and make that overtake later. We've made 2 moves though, and we're up into P12. We've got Sergio Perez and one of the other Toro Rosso cars, and so now ahead is Kevin Magnussen, who just got overtaken by Carlos Sainz there. Our teammate just up ahead, looks like he's fighting, scrapping away, and looks like the McLarens have had a good start there in the top 10, but can we get the Dane here now in the second sector? It's going to be tricky, but the Red Bull downforce is kicking in. Here we go. Can we size up and move down the inside? It's going to be close. We lift off a little, give him the room, but then plant the power, and on the exit we do get him, and we're up into P11. And of course, like I mentioned, you can actually now see that lovely little new one-off helmet for Max Verstappen. Quite striking actually compared to his normal one. Obviously usually it's in kind of a red and blue kind of matching there, but now kind of very striking in full yellow one-off for his Jumbo sponsor. But now, speaking about things in yellow, we're trying to size up a move against Carlos Sainz. He's got some good straight line speed though off the last corner. Obviously the Renault with an upgraded MGUK in a straight line. I'm not saying that's be replicated in the mod, but the Renaults definitely have always been pretty nippy in a straight line on the mod and in general in the base game. We go to cover off Sainz, actually, you can see here, but now into the hairpin, a very unexpected double overtake then. Van Dorn going so slowly that he blocks off him, and I think that was Romain Grosjean there. So I was actually focused on defending Carlos Sainz very aggressively to the inside, so much so that that pass, that double overtake, just took me by such surprise that Van Dorn was going so slow into that hairpin. But I mean, I'll take it, and so we're up into P8, so this is very good progress. Not even in the middle of lap 2, and we're already in the second half of the grid where we want to be. We can already see a Ferrari car just up the head as well of Raikkonen, so that's good to see. I think Sebastian Vettel though is the one that leads the way from both the Mercedes cars of Hamilton and Bottas perhaps. So let's just get a move on then, try dispatch of the second Renault now. We can see one car is out down the inside though. Here we go, last corner, just over the curving a little bit, and we're now up into P7, and we literally are not taking any wasted time here making these overtakes. But now the hard stuff might happen, because now we've got the likes of the Ferrari, our teammate Daniel Ricciardo, the Mercedes of Bottas, and then Hamilton there, and as well as Fernando Alonso. I think he's in the mix as well, surprisingly, still holding on there in the top 7, probably unlike the real-life Grand Prix you're about to see tomorrow. But yeah, now you can clearly see it's now lap 3. We're getting to the end of lap 3, and I'm still behind Raikkonen. So unlike the previous 2 laps, we have to wait a whole lap to actually get up to the back of Raikkonen. But now, down the pit straight, he has us in a straight line, the Ferrari does, but down into the inside of turn 1 will pounce, let a break a little bit later, and we've got that. And Ricciardo now has tried to make a move on Alonso, and he's actually come off worse. He's now lost 2 positions, 3 positions to us included. So he was side by side with Fernando Alonso into turn 1. He's now found himself behind even Raikkonen there in the background as well. So a shocking turn 1 there for my teammate Ricciardo. We're now down the inside of the fin, and in all of that, the wily old fox Fernando Alonso somehow managed to stay ahead in a whopping, what would be P3 for him actually. That's crazy stuff there for Alonso here at the moment in this mod around Austria, as Bottas locks up though, and we try to feed it around the outside. Doesn't quite work out. We're still hassling and wrestling the steering wheel of this car to try and find some grip here in sector 2, try and make that pass work, and you can see they're working away opposite lock on the wheel to really wring the neck out of this car. I'm literally on the edge of grip because I need to be pushing flat out pretty much every single lap, otherwise I'm not going to close up the gap. You can see, look at that mini map on the bottom left. That's quite a big gap to close up to P2 and then P1, so I really need to basically be doing quali laps almost every single lap. And at the moment, even though I'm pushing flat out, I'm overtaking cars every single lap, and so they're not really quali laps still, because I'm getting held up quite a bit. Now you can see Alonso defending from Bottas, side by side they'll go, and the Spaniard loses out to the Mercedes power there on the exit and the traction, and we're going to get that to our advantage. Rich mix flowing, and we're around the outside on the left of Fernando Alonso, and now can we try and dive down the inside? No, Alonso now dives back down the inside, so he's going to still fight us there, and so instead of making the move on the Mercedes like I wanted to, I have to just finish off the move on Alonso there. So finally now, I think we're up into P4. I think I can safely say that. So it's now Bottas P3 ahead of us that we can try and overtake, hopefully, in the next lap. And then it will be all about chasing after one Lewis Hamilton and then Sebastian Vettel, who I believe are in that order in P2 and then P1 down the road. But we have to wait until lap number 6 then into turn 1, and good exit there. And we're just going to get in the slipstream. Obviously, no DRS right now in the game. But in real life, I believe there will be DRS down this straight. So this will definitely be a place to make some good passes, hopefully, in the real life Grand Prix. Can we make the move right now in the game around the outside? It's going to be close. A little bit of tyre banging there, a little bit of elbows out to try and get that move done and finished. And I think we will just about have that. We've got DRS, we've got Rich Mix, we moved to the middle of the circuit to kind of block off Bottas essentially, move back to the racing line then, and we've got that. And so now you can see right there up ahead, absolutely no one, a lot of clean air, a yellow flag as well for a car off. I think someone retired there just briefly on the left hand side of the minimap, but now pretty much it's just a case of getting our head down and using this clean air to push and up the pace to from what it has been, because I definitely can go a lot faster than I have been so far with a lack of cars in front of us. But meanwhile, in the next few laps then, we're going to see Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton come in for their pit stops. We're going to go one lap longer, so we're all the same tyre, but I feel like I've got a bit more in me, so I've got one more lap in me to maybe take out a little bit and try and work the overcut essentially. I don't know if it's going to be powerful enough to gain a lot on Hamilton or Vettel. We're going to have to see, and I'm just going to use the advantage of clean air to try and gain some more time. But Vettel and Hamilton in, and then we're going to be in on lap 8 now here. Slam on the brakes and just about make that in green for the pit stop, and now we're in for a set of super soft tyres, and that'll take us to the end of the Grand Prix. So we're here in 3rd place, but I'm actually remembering that Verstappen in real life has been on a bit of a run of 2 second places in a row, the Canadian Grand Prix and then the French Grand Prix just gone by last week. So technically 2nd place would be quite a victory for us in terms of matching maybe the real life form that Verstappen's in technically, but obviously I'm going to go for the win if we can. Obviously that's the whole challenge. Can we win the Austrian Grand Prix for Verstappen? But I think 2nd could still be good. But speaking about that, we're actually going to get that done and booked maybe very, very soon on lap 9, as we're now closing up to some traffic here. We're going to get a move on. Hamilton is up the road. He's going into turn 1 now, I think that is. So we've overtaken the Williams car, and now we'll just get past Gasly and Hartley, and then it will be Hamilton that is next up. So I believe those 3 dots ahead of us in the minimap, this one being Gasly, and then the next 2, I believe it's Hartley and then Lewis Hamilton. So I think 2nd place should be on our sights, and really that means our minds should cast to 1st place. Can we actually do this? We've got 8 laps left, so we need to be probably a good second faster than Vettel, really. We need to catch him there. We have some good pace. I don't know if that good pace. We'll see. The Ferrari in the 2018 mod is pretty good compared to maybe what it is in real life. So we'll see how that goes. But we dispatched Gasly pretty quickly. We used him to our advantage with DRS there. And now we'll catch up to Brennan Hartley. You can see the difference in the downforce between the Red Bull senior team and the sister junior team, Toro Rosso Honda here. And now down into the last sector, we're going to make the move on the right-hand side. Nice and easy. We moved to racing line, actually. I think my rear wheel snagged on Hartley there because I got dragged a little bit, so that was a little bit disconcerting, but into the last corner, riding the curb a little bit like a skateboard as we go across the line now onto lap 11, and we're in P3 once again, and now there's P2 right ahead of us. We go on to lap 13. Lewis Hamilton's taken us 3 laps almost to catch up to him after we made that last pass on Hartley, so it's taken us a fair old time just to get to P2, so P1, I don't want to say it right now, but it might be out of the question. It might be just a bit too difficult. But here on Hamilton, we make the little fake to the left and then move to the right-hand side, down the inside. Big dive, but Hamilton really does well to outbrake us. Lock up on the front right. We go wide, open up the steering wheel on the exit on purpose to squeeze him out. And we do get that booked in, and we're up into P2. So we do match, you know, Verstappen's form of, you know, he got second at Canada, second at the French Grand Prix, and we're getting second place here at the Austrian Grand Prix. Remains to be seen if he can do that in the real-life Grand Prix tomorrow. But you can clearly see on lap 18 now, the last lap of the Grand Prix, I've been pushing flat out, and we catch up to Vettel. We can see him out there in the distance there. We catch up immediately to a lap car of Charles Leclerc, who does give me DRS, so I was a little bit hopeful. I was literally actually thinking in the cockpit, okay, hang on, I've got DRS. Do I have any kind of chance of gaining enough time with DRS? And it's just that kind of classic driver mentality of, oh, I can make the gap up, but surely there's enough time left, but there just isn't. You know, I was fooling myself. I had DRS, that gave me a little bit of time, but you can clearly see with 2 sectors to go, even less than that, Vettel's just too far ahead, and you know, that distance isn't that big. You know, I was so close. Like, potentially, if I didn't fight Ricciardo and Bottas, actually, you know what? If I didn't fight Bottas and Alonso for those 2 laps, and maybe only took half a lap to catch up to Raikkonen, I might have got Vettel here for first place, but unfortunately not. So we're gonna have to call this challenge then. I failed it technically, because, well, not technically, I did fail it. I did not win the Austrian Grand Prix with Max Verstappen. I tried my best. We got second place. Like I said, I'm still going to give myself props for matching his real-life form, and if you can call it that. I mean, I'm literally probably jinxing it now, and he'll probably DNF very early on in tomorrow's Grand Prix because I just said that. But I'm still pretty happy with second place from last place on the grid, and that was a really, really enjoyable race to really wring the neck out of that Red Bull. So I hope you guys did enjoy it as much as I did to race it. If you did, hit that like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Let me know who you think is going to win the Austrian Grand Prix tomorrow. Do you think Verstappen has any shot at a good podium tomorrow? Let me know in the comments below, you Verstappen fans. But if you're on your end here, do get subscribed for weekly full-on content. I've been Alpha. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys next time.
Once more.